Vintage animation nerd.
Tonight, the Vintage Animation Nerd brings to you young Samson, otherwise known as Samson and Goliath. Young Samson was aired alongside the Space Cadets in one of Hanna-Barbera's many very strange bedfellows. Very strange pairings. I mean, you have the space cadets that appeal to maybe only toddlers, and more on this in a minute. And you have young Samson, who is another of Alex Toth's legendary Hanna-Barbera heroes. Slightly less sung hero than, say, Space Ghost, for instance, or the Herculoids, but here we are. Young Samson was a boy named Samson, who utilized his magic armlets to gain his super strength and become his superpowered form, complete with a reverbing adult voice. His dog Goliath turned into a giant lion named Goliath, who shot optic blasts. Take that, Cyclops. Are you, Scott Summers, a giant lion? No. And have a seat. I mean, there were episodes where we had military officials or police officials addressing Samson's teenage form by name, thereby giving away that the secret identity meant nothing. The dual identity meant nothing. I, if I remember correctly, and it's a bit fuzzy, but I know that Space Cadets and Young Samson were on the Cartoon Express, were over on USA's Cartoon Express at one point. Yeah, that's where I was introduced to them. WGN would broadcast them at about 7 a.m. as well, but I wasn't waking up at 7 a.m. to turn on WGN and see the Space Cadets and Young Samson blindly. The Cartoon Express introduced me to them. That was the case. So how does how do these vintage animation obscurities hold up? It's it's very confusing how young Samson was ever paired alongside the space cadets. I, young Samson holds up pretty well. I mean, some of my favorite episodes are the SSX-19, Nerod, The Secret of Evil Island, the Idol of Ramakish. And to be fair, I think the Space Cadets have the Flight Before Christmas or whatever it was called, but this was about young Samson. One of several vintage animation obscurities that I grew up on. I don't even think Cartoon Network aired the Space Cadets Young Samson at any point in time. I know Boomerang did at one point. It was long before it moved to our local market, and Now that time has long since passed. The ship has sailed on young Samson. And I don't think they're even on streaming. Um, best chance for to see young Samson. Warner Archive Collection released them on DVD. Obviously, they haven't been upscaled to Blu-ray because not even MeTV Tunes has picked these up yet. And who's to say that they ever will? I'm Kent Brindley. I am the Vintage Animation Nerd. And this is one of several Vintage Animation Obscurities. Be well, be blessed. Tune in. I'll see you soon. Oh, hey. Vintage Animation Nerd here. I thank you for watching another Vintage Animation Obscurity with me. Hey, if I made you curious about this content, feel free to check out the content that I just described to you. If you enjoyed this or any of my other content, feel free to subscribe. Subscribe, yes, over here. Thank you. And as always, be well. Vintage animation nerd and action figure nerd. Here again. As always, good journey. Be well. Subscribe.